Hey there, Pisces. Welcome to your August bonus reading for August, obviously, of 2025. We're going to jump right in here, Pisces. You have this Have Faith in Your Dreams card, and also this card that says confidence is the key to your success. I mean, I don't know. You really can't make that up, Pisces. One kind of like little secret, I would say, for August, and you could argue that this is always true, what I'm about to say, but it's like I think the better you feel about things, that you're working on or that you're doing, the more likely it is that those things are going to be successful for you. And that's definitely something that I'm going to pay attention to personally. Again, when I do these readings, I pull myself out of them so that I don't add any of my own BS into them, right? But what I would say is, again, this has nothing to do with the reading necessarily, right? But it's like one thing that I'm really paying attention to in August, or will be, is getting like into that really good feeling place about like everything that I'm doing in my life. And for some things, right? It's like for some things we might have to not make it up, but we might have to do things to make something happy, right? Because there are always things that you have to do in life that you don't want to do. So that's something I would definitely pay attention to. But there are other things where, like if I'm working on projects, I know that I need to be very excited about it to put the work in. Right here. Six of Pentacles. Six of Pentacles is how you are entering into the reading. We're doing a Celtic cross for this bonus reading, as always. And the first card is kind of like how you're entering into the reading or into this time. Six of Pentacles is kind of one of those cards that says, which wolf do you feed? He is giving to one person, not the other. So he is giving to the energy that fulfills him, that makes him happy, we could argue, and all those other things, right? So I think that it's going to be a very important month. It's like one of those months where it's like the more I think that, let me just back up here a little bit and say that confidence is the key to your success card is definitely true. And the other thing is that I think that if you can get yourself into an excited place about the things that you're working on, that's where the true success will come from. But it's like you have to feed that energy, right? You have to make sure that you're doing things that make you feel excited and, all that other stuff. And so, that's what I would pay attention to here. That's really all I'm getting. This is definitely an all about you reading, by the way. There could be a little bit of love that shows up, but I think this reading is all about you. You're clearly working on something. I feel very inspired by this reading, meaning, you could be feeling very inspired. You have the sun, which is amazing. And so, it's like clearly you could be getting like some ideas or some sort of inspiration that makes you feel very excited that leads to success, right? You have the Death card, just being willing to change. This is your crossing energy. And the crossing energy in a Celtic cross can be what hurts you or helps you in the Celtic cross. I kind of feel both here, Pisces. Like, I think, number one, that, allowing change will help you, but I also feel like not allowing change is going to hurt you, right? So I feel like being comfortable with change is what this is saying. Now, one thing I will say is that you have Uranus in Gemini in your fourth house. Uranus and Gemini in the fourth is a little interesting because it can shake up your foundation. Now, personally, I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing, Pisces, this energy, but, it's like it can shake up things in the home and things like that. I'll give you a great example. My brother's been living with me forever, right? And so for our whole lives, basically. And now he's moving out, right? He's moving in with his lovely girlfriend, a Pisces. So, there you go. And it's funny because he's a Leo. But anyway, he's moving out, right? So big change, all of a sudden, randomly, and, it just happened suddenly. So, it's kind of like interesting that it happened exactly, basically, or, it's like he made the decision exactly when Uranus went into Gemini, which is crazy. But it's like, there could be things like that happening in your home. Things could be shaking up. But also on a personal level, but again, here's the thing. Is that this is where the most growth will come from, is in these shakeups, right? And so these are not bad things. And I think you have to allow the change, is what the Death card is saying. And like, don't try to hold on to the old ways. I think it's pretty much the worst thing people could do right now, honestly, is, just like, holding on too tightly to the past, basically, and that's what I would avoid with that card. Next, in the area of what's on your mind, you have the Sun, which is freaking amazing. Definitely the best card in the deck. thinking about things that could be making you feel inspired or excited is kind of what's popping into my head here with the Sun card. I also feel like you're thinking smarter. The Sun is definitely a card of smarter thinking, because this baby is carrying this big banner right here, and this banner is meant to look very heavy, but the baby is carrying it very easily. The child. The child isn't struggling to carry that banner, and so the whole point of the Sun is ease. He is doing something difficult but easily, right? He has the skills necessary. And also, you could also argue that it's really the Sun is his intentions, the baby's. It's like, because the Sun represents purity and pure intentions, the reason why something is happening easily is because his intentions are pure. I have seen it a million times where, especially on YouTube, it's like you can tell when like someone isn't really into doing it, the YouTube thing, any longer. You can tell that they've kind of like given up and things like that, and then they lose subscribers, right? Or whatever. And it's like, that is making things harder. And that is also resisting change. That's the type of change that I feel like this Death card is saying. It's like there might be something that you're resisting letting go of, or you're resisting changing in your life, whatever it is. But it's like literally going with the change is going to lead to the Sun here, Pisces. I hope this is making sense, but pretty good. Next, in your foundation, you have the Six of Wands. I do feel this is very common energy for Pisces, or will be over the next few years. I feel a lot of Pisces will be just getting recognition for things that they've already done. It's showing up in your foundation position, the Six of Wands, which means this is the foundation you are coming from at this time. And so I feel that a lot of the things that you're good at just in life in general is, could be bringing you, or, could be leading to attention, or you getting attention, or you standing out in your life. And, you could finally be getting the recognition you deserve, Pisces. Again, I think this is something that will be happening to you over the next several years, because it's your, as I've said to you a million times, it's your time to shine. But now, if you don't, then nothing is going to happen. It's like, this isn't going to magically happen. You have to leave hermit mode, right? You have to take risks, put yourself out there. You probably have to do those things you're a little bit afraid to do, right? But if you do it, then, clearly it is your time to shine. You will get the attention that you desire. And, again, Six of Wands is a very good card of victory, successes, good things. In your past position, you have this Land Between card and this Bearing Fruit card. You have this Nine of Swords as well. Very simple energy and very simple message I'm getting here. I do feel you've been in purgatory for a while, maybe since last year, basically. I think that probably from like, it's like there was a little peak for Pisces, right? From like 2019 to like maybe 2022, 2023, somewhere around there. There was like, I think that a lot of you during that time frame, even though COVID was happening at that time, there could have been a boost for a lot of you. You could have gotten some sort of boost. You could have, had something good happen to you during those years, or something. And I feel like the universe was giving you a little taste of what you can expect, once we start moving this year. I'm talking about like after August, right? And also, but really next year, because really, I think that Pisces, I'm not saying you have to wait or anything, and you are clearly, things are taking off, things are moving forward. You have the Eight of Wands, right? I'm not like, sometimes I say this, what I'm about to say, and I think people think like astrology is a hard start or hard stop. It's like, no. Things will be improving between now and March of next year. But I think like after March is when things really get moving for you, Pisces, next year. So, again, I think for a lot of you, you've been in this purgatory mode where it's kind of like you're not sure what to do. You're not sure what to work on. I feel like some of you have felt like you're never going to escape something, like your situation, right? But I think what's bearing fruit is your mind. There's something about your connection. I don't know what it is. I cannot explain it. Again, I don't necessarily think that it is explainable. Sometimes I think the energies just mix for whatever reason. For some reason, you keep showing up in Gemini's readings. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because of Uranus and Gemini. I feel like what I feel intuitively is that there is something about Uranus and Gemini that is creating a little bit of a shakeup for Pisces, which makes sense. It's your fourth house. It's your foundation, right? Six of Wands is showing up in your foundation. But there's something about it, Pisces, that I think is either leading to a breakthrough or is leading to you breaking out of something. And I feel like the reading itself is saying, don't resist change as hard as it is. It's like, don't resist your brother moving out, right? Don't resist spending some time alone. Don't resist going new places or learning new things and all that other stuff, right? And so it's almost like the Nine of Swords is coming up in the past, but it's almost as if the Nine of Swords is saying to me, just like, don't resist. But not like in a bad way, it's not like saying don't resist bad things. It's saying, it's saying don't resist something or don't resist those things that could potentially cause big growth in your life or, major success. It's funny because this card is my card that says you can be the bug or the windshield, right? There's like a person hitting another person with a sword right here in that carving on the bed. And so the card itself kind of says we have a choice. We can be the bug or the windshield. We can be the immovable force or the thing that gets splatted on the windshield. And it's like, it's time for you to be a badass, Pisces, is what this card is saying. It's time for you to realize that you can choose to be immovable. You can choose to be unstoppable, right? And that's not magically going to happen, right? You have to do it. But I think that literally you could be unstoppable if you take advantage of the energy. Next, in the area of your very near future, you have this melancholy card and this house card, which is hilarious because we were just talking about this. Again, there could be some sadness or something in the home, like I said, or there could be some, there could be something, right, going on in the home at this time or this month or even next month or, even several months from now with your, it could be a couple years from now with Uranus and Gemini. Although I find that usually if these things are going to happen, they're pretty much going to happen at the beginning of the transit, and then it's like then we're implementing the lessons as we go along, right? And so, again, some of you, there could be something sad happening in the home, but not like bad sad. Again, like your brother moving out sad, right? That's like a bird leaving the nest sad, right? And so some of you could be experiencing that. I do feel like some of you could be experiencing some sort of shakeup in your foundation, but again, not bad. I think it's more motivational. I think it's something that's more kind of like getting your butt moving here, Pisces, that's happening. And so there you go. And as a matter of fact, in the area of your very near future, you have the world, which is amazing. The world is an accomplishment. It is an achievement. It is travel. It is kind of like, doing all sorts of stuff. It's kind of like one of those things where it's like I have a big house right now, and it's like, obviously, I'm not going to need all this room for my house, for myself. And so now I'm thinking, like, I'm actually playing around with the idea of just, kind of like living out of Airbnbs for the next year and just kind of like traveling around and not caring like where I end up, right? And so, again, that is very Uranus and Gemini, but it could be a good time for movement for you, Pisces. So I would say that anything you can do to create more forward momentum is going to be important. Again, you have this, the Land Between card, which is like my purgatory card in that deck. So I think you kind of have to like start making moves out of purgatory to get moving forward with this card. Some of you still could be moving, all that stuff is popping up. I definitely feel there's some sort of win or an achievement coming in for you. I mean, 6 of Wands, World to the 8 of Wands. Like, damn, that is pretty good, Pisces. That could definitely be like a big win or an achievement coming in for you. It could be, but this would be something that you're completing or wrapping up with the world. So if you're wrapping up any projects or any ideas or you're bringing things to a conclusion, very good. Next, in the area of your outcome row, this last row here, you have this rendezvous card. It says attraction, desire, a longing, and taboo. Ooh. You have this water card. It says adaptability, grace, power, and change, which is, this is you, Pisces, right here, right? Is the water dragon, sure. So there you go. I do feel like there could be love, obviously. You have this attraction, desire, longing, and taboo card. So you could be attracting a person into your life. There could be an age difference. And in the area of your closest relationships, you have the King of Swords. And, that would represent like some sort of age difference or, something like that. So we'll talk about that in a minute. But I would also say that, I think it's an amazing time for you to attract things that you desire into your life with this card. So there you go. In the area of the next few months, you have the 2 of Wands. Yes, this is you like getting out into the world, taking the lead, building something new. You are definitely building a new kingdom in your life, Pisces. That's kind of the feeling I get here. The story of the card is that he's built his castle that he's standing on top of, but, the castle stands on its own. This wand back here, it stands on its own, and he's reaching forward and grabbing on to this new wand. So I feel for a lot of you, that's kind of like what this card is saying, is that you have attracted something, and now you're kind of like ready to move on to the next steps. I feel like you're ready to grow more. that's really what I feel, is that it's just like a growth time for you, Pisces, in the sense that you could be growing a business, your career, your kingdom, where you live, whatever. And I feel like a lot of you could be doing that. In the area of your closest relationships, again, you have the King of Swords. I feel a lot here. Number one, you could be attracting someone who's like older than you or more mature in some ways. So, if you want a person, this could definitely be love. Although, again, I think this reading is really all about you. I also feel that there really could be a lot of, it's crazy because I said this in the August readings. I don't know if I said it to you, but I said it to a lot of people. It's like, it seems to me like August is a good month for mentors, or, for like finding guidance or even developing relationships with mentors. So, if you have people that you look up to, like, now might be the time to do that. Same thing in like work or business and all this other stuff. I was talking to someone the other day that wanted to do a podcast, and they listed off a couple of people, and they were like, I'm afraid to ask this person because they're famous, and I don't know if they would be on my podcast. I'm like, yeah, but if you like do a little research, all those people go on every podcast. It's like, you would be surprised, right? So it's like, what I'm trying to get at here is there are ways to connect with people that you just, that are probably easier than you think. And, I think that it could be an amazing time for you to connect with mentors. Next, in the area of your future feelings, you have the Eight of Wands, which is just amazing. Eight of Wands is like feeling like you're building momentum. I feel like you feel like things are charging forward. I also have the word like integrated popping into my head. Didn't I say that at the beginning of the reading? I think I did, but I could be making that up in my head, so I don't remember what I said. But it's like you feel more integrated to me. Like, as in, and what I mean by that is you feel more like plugged into life. Like things are actually kind of like, going according to plan. Or it's like maybe you just have a better plan that you're following here, Pisces. I don't know. I never say that with the Eight of Wands, but I get this like integration feeling. It's like, imagine like if you have to like be like plugged in energetically, you have to be lined up. It's like, I feel like Pisces has been like off a little bit, maybe, which is typical for Pisces, but it's like you've been a little bit off. It's like you haven't been maybe kind of like enmeshed with the energy that exists, and I don't know, that's the crazy ass message that's popping into my head there. I also get like a lot of communication. Didn't I say this in your August reading? I'm pretty sure in your regular August reading, I think I said that you could be very popular this month, and definitely popping into my head with that card. Your outcome is the Hermit. I don't know. Part of me feels like by the time we get to October, you might be a little exhausted. And I know this is an August reading, but I'm just saying, I kind of get the feelings from this reading that like this month and next month, August, September, you could be like super busy doing a lot. You might actually get more done than you have all year, over like the next 2 months. And then, so maybe the next 3 months, because maybe this is more, I'm kind of leaning towards the end of October-ish, somewhere around there, that you're like exhausted. Part of me wants to tell you to not burn yourself out, of course, which I think we should always make sure that we don't do that. I've tried it many times in my life. It doesn't work. And so like part of me feels that. Part of me feels very good about this as well, Pisces, because, it's almost like you're kind of like connecting to ideas, or you're connecting to an idea that will make you very successful. And so, that could be where this like feeling or motivation is coming from. And it feels good. So like I feel like this is really saying that you're entering into a very busy time. And that's basically what I would do with this card, is I would just keep doing what you're doing, and then, protect your energy. Plain and simple. So let's clarify this. With the Six of Pentacles and the Death card, you have the Four of Swords. Yeah, I mean, Six of Pentacles is kind of like equal give and take. So again, don't burn yourself out. The Four of Swords would be making sure to rest, relax, recover. And, I would make sure to do all those things. With the Sun, you have here you go. You have the King of Cups. Definitely you. This reading is all about you for sure. The King of Cups, it could just be your energy. The Sun with the King of Cups would kind of be about putting yourself first, or putting your feelings first, at least. And so a lot of you could be putting your emotions and your feelings first, which obviously would be a good thing. But I don't know. I love this reading for you, Pisces, if you can't tell. With the Six of Wands, you have the Ace of Wands. Didn't I say something about an inspiration or something exciting you at the beginning of the reading? I feel very excited. I feel like I'm talking extra fast in this reading as well. So, there you go, Pisces. I think that There's definitely something coming in for you. It's like some sort of new beginning. How crazy is it that I said that you're leaving a castle behind? This castle is crumbling in the background. This card represents out with the old, in with the new. It's like the castle is crumbling. You're letting something go. We talked about this whole first part of the reading. With the Nine of Swords, you have the Ace of Cups. It's like I feel like some of you need to realize it's okay to let go of things that you once loved. It's like there are things that I no longer enjoy that I used to enjoy, and it's like that's what this is giving me the feelings of, is like that the Two of Wands and everything, and it's like all saying to me that it's like about letting, like, I don't know what I'm trying to spit out here, Pisces. It's about like being careful of not getting stuck in nostalgia or not attaching too much to things. It's like, I don't really have any good examples, but it's like, imagine if you had your dream car, for example, just bear with me. It's like, after a while of driving it, you might be like, okay, I've experienced it. I want something else, right? And so it's like, I think sometimes people think that they want certain things. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't have those certain things, but it's like saying to me, maybe there are certain things in life where it's more about having had the experience. I think life is about experiences anyway. That's the whole point of life, is that we're meant to have experiences. And I feel like this is saying it's okay to, let an experience go. And I know I'm speaking very generally, and this almost feels like a side message to the reading, but, it's popping into my head. With the World, you have the King of Wands. We almost have all 4 kings. We're just missing the King of Pentacles. So if you're looking for love, definitely could be like an Emperor type person coming in for you. Could be any sign, general reading. King of Wands also would make sense with the card that says confidence is the key to your success. I think the more you believe in yourself, the better here, Pisces. I think the more you believe that you can do this, that, and the other thing, the better, basically. And, that's what I would focus on here with this reading. With the Two of Wands, you have the Ten of Cups. Ten of Cups is like fortune after difficulty, and really good, amazing, So a lot of blessings over the next few months. I think the next few months are going to feel really good for you, Pisces. Busy, doing a lot, making a lot of moves, it looks like, but, I think it's going to be good for you. Ten of Cups could also be love. So if you are looking for love, it does look good, and, that's it. With the King of Swords, you have the Ten of Wands. Yeah, definitely an exercise that I want to give you, Pisces, is to try to make things more simple. Sun, Ten of Wands, the Ten of Cups even, but definitely the Sun. Again, he's doing something hard but easily, right? Ten of Wands, he's carrying a heavy burden, but he's about to reach his place back here. Here's the other thing, is the Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands is my card of creating a slip and slide in life. I say it, you've probably heard me say this before. To me, this is a card of removing friction, right? And so I think a good exercise for you this month would be to try and remove friction from your life. Like, what is what is slowing you down? What is getting in your way? What is preventing your success, right? And how can you smooth those things out? With the Eight of Wands, yes, you have the Page of Pentacles. You could be very, talkative this month. I don't know, part of me wonders if, like, that Uranus and Gemini is making you very talkative, or is making you more kind of like, kind of like run your mouth more or something. I don't know. But definitely could be true. I think that, again, you could be very popular this month, the whole month, even though we have, Mercury retrograde until the 11th or whatever. I think that pretty much the whole month could be very talkative for you, and, there could be a lot of communication. Definitely could be a new person as well. Could be an earth sign with that Page of Pentacles. With the Hermit, you have the Nine of Cups. Yes. Like, don't be afraid of working hard. Yeah, I don't feel bad about the Hermit. Normally, with the Hermit, I say, like, get out of the house, get out in public, stuff like that. But that's not really what I'm feeling with the Hermit. I feel like it's saying you need a vacation. You are going to need a vacation at the end of October. Or you're going to need to take a break. Or you're going to need to do something to rest, right? And, because I feel you're, like, doing things that you are wishing for with that Nine of Cups. So damn, Pisces, I love this reading for you for sure. It's like the energy has shifted. Today is July 25th, so I think you could be feeling this right now. You have this Carrot card. It says opportunity or windfall. I mean, clearly the whole entire reading, so there could be some sort of big opportunity coming in for you. You have this Bouquet card. It says compliments from an admirer. Yeah, yeah, sure. Page of Pentacles, Eight of Wands. There could be a lot of communication with that Page of Pentacles and that Eight of Wands thing. Again, I always tell people, Page of Pentacles, especially right now, we're going to have Neptune retrograding back into Pisces soon enough. And, with that energy, I would be very careful of only getting into a connection where there's only talking happening and, nothing real. It's very easy with Neptune and Pisces to, get stuck in the fantasy and something that never actually becomes a reality. So, again, I would, but again, this still looks good. Can't make this one up. It says, heartache over what you no longer have. I mean, we talked about this with the Ace of Cups, the Nine of Swords, and something else over here as well. But it's like you had the experience. You were in the energy. It's almost like that's what you need to realize. It's like the best example I could give you is attracting your dream car. It's but realizing it. It's so I think people have it wrong, right? I think sometimes people say, it's like, I've known rich people that get everything they want and they're not happy and everything like that. And again, I try to tell those people, yes, it's because, yes, it's true that the things don't make you happy, right? But this is also poverty consciousness, and we need to have abundance consciousness right now because, things aren't looking very good. So, I try to encourage people to go the positive direction. What we should be saying is that really what those people wanted was the experience of having that. And that's really what we want, is we really want the experience of something. If you want to get super psychological, technological, and everything else about it here, Pisces, it's not actually the thing that we want. It's what the thing can get us that we want. One of my favorite stories of all time comes from a sales trainer, David Sandler. And long story short, just to save you time here, he says, when we're children, we ask our mom, and we say before dinner, I want a cookie. And our mom says, no, you have to have dinner first. So eventually, again, long story short, there's more to it, but long story short, eventually we start saying, Mom, I'm hungry. We don't ask for the cookie. We have all been trained since we were little children to not ask for what we want because that's what happened to us, right? And so really, again, it's like, if we're being honest with ourselves, it's not the actual thing that we want. It's not the Ferrari. It's not the big house that we want. It is the experience. It is something that we think the experience can get us, right? And so I think there's some sort of mindset shift going on there with you and experiences. You have this frying pan card that says trouble, accusations. I don't know. I would ignore it. We're in a little bit of a tricky time with that Mercury retrograde in Leo. And, it's retrograding basically where Mars went retrograde and, which can bring up accusations of things that aren't true. So I would just ignore it. I think the best thing to do is to ignore it. Having said that, you have this card that says you should accept valid criticism. Again, you're going to have to be honest. Are the criticisms legitimate or not? And you're going to have to be honest about it. But damn, overall, Pisces, I love this reading for you. Really good. So thank you for being here and definitely enjoy your month.